I have been trading a few strategies over the years, but if I had to pick one that would really be the best for you, here's the one. I'll share it with you today step by step, how I find the right pairs, the right stocks to trade, the right ETF also to trade with it, how I look at finding signals, how I use the signals, and some of the stats I've been going through in the past few months. We'll dive right into it. And yeah, it's gonna be fun. Let's go. All right, so the strategy I want to show you here today is something that I've been trading for quite a while now. It's the HMA pullback strategy. So I use a whole moving average. I have one over here and one over here. And these help me get an idea of the trend. And for this, we want to trade trends. So we'll start from this very, very beginning and look at how do we find these stocks and ETFs and Forex pairs to trade. I had a few students ask me about this, and I thought I would kind of share it here. So I use the TradingView screener first. So I have some Forex pairs, I have some stocks in Europe and in the UK, I have stocks, I have some ETF, I have some crypto, kind of AI stocks, and then other stocks here in general that are on my watch list. Now I have alerts for this. I'll kind of give you a quick look at this later on. But let's have a look at the screener here that I use to find these stocks. Here's the TradingView screener. It's called the stock screener. You can also go and look at the ETF. You can look at the bond, which will be boring a lot. You can look at cryptos and all that stuff here. So what I do is I use this one and I'll go look at currently it's the US stocks. You could look at other countries if you want to, but for me, US works well. And I look at the market cap, make sure this is going to be at least large or above. So I think we can choose both here. Just use the market cap, 200 million and more for now. These are like the big companies, like the names that everyone knows, or most of them. And what I'll do now is I'll go to the place where it says performance percentage or perf%. I'd like to go for at least 5% up or 5% down over this one. Or I can go and look at 10%. So usually plus or minus 5% would be good, but sometimes it's not going to be trading enough. We want to go and look at more than that. So both ways work. So what we'll do is we'll look at this above 5. So you have a lot of stocks here that you might recognize. These will be, and we can click at them to look at them too. They'll be in a trending kind of scenario, but not trending that much, right? So here we can have a quick look. So I'm going to pull up the MEU, close this here. And let's have a look at what this is. So this is Micron Technologies. It's a good trend. We have a few setups here in a very, very overbought condition based on these dots on my chart. So it could be a good one, but we have to wait, of course, for the price to come back and to give us a nice entry area. All right, so the key part of the strategy here is that we have a haul, and the haul gives us a clue of whether price is in a good buying area or in a good selling area. So if price is going to be below the haul, you can see here, and the haul will be green, that means it's a good place to buy in this market, right? Because it's going to give us an idea of whether it's cheap or expensive. So when we are here and the haul is green, this is very cheap. It's a good place to buy. If we are here, that's a bad place to buy. That's kind of expensive. We want to be ideally selling here, right? And then if we are going to be here below and the haul is red, it's actually the opposite. So expensive here, bad place to sell. And here's a good price to be selling. And that's a really good price. So same idea works in both uptrend and downtrends. That's why we'll look at the stocks that are trending down before. I got to find a few of these actually now because I don't have many of them on my watch list. Let's have a look here at XOM. This is also trending quite well. We had a nice setup here. So the way this works, it would be entering above the high right here. Stop loss below low. We give it some room because it's a stock. There's going to be a lot of gaps. So it might be this over here. I might put it there. The stop loss will be here. And then we'll just ride until the whole turns red. So we have a nice trade here. This is more than 2 to 1 reward to risk, even more than that. We can have these really big winners, right? And sometimes I also trade weekly charts. So the same thing will be on weekly charts, although we don't have any setup over here. This is kind of how this would look like. And then we'll look at the stocks that are, say, below 5%. If you go below 10, it might be too trending. We don't want to necessarily have that. So Tesla is a good one, although the weekly chart is still trending up, but daily chart is kind of going down. We have a nice setup here, which I got long on. I'm still in this setup because the haul didn't turn red yet. Okay, so the haul turning red is going to be my full exit. And we'll talk about these partial exits a bit later. Here we have AVGO. This is Broadcom. It's kind of flat, not very trending much. LLY is on my watch list already. So still going up, but we're kind of starting to go down. Let's see these other ones that are 10% down. I'm going to find some of these. So Microsoft is doing really bad right now because of the new Windows, I think. So that's going to be fun. Below the hall, bad place to sell. We want to be selling above the hall. We had a nice maybe push over here, then it went straight down from there. Didn't have any entry or anything on this. Oracle is also going down. This could be pulling back pretty soon. Could be a good place to look for a sell trade. By the way, if you want a full training on this, I did a full training on this hall indicator here, how I use it, the settings I use, all this stuff. If you want to check it out, it's going to be linked below, the very first link. It's going to be this course that I have for the hall moving average. It's 100% free, nothing to sell there, but I want to kind of teach you this indicator and show you how it works and how you can use it for your trading if you want. So go check it out after this video and you can get it and watch the full training to learn how to use this indicator step by step in details. Okay, Netflix is doing really bad. Netflix was one of my best trades this past year. We have a lot of setups on this actually. We have one just yesterday, which how come did I miss that? That's surprising. So yeah, that's a sell. That's nice. Many sells on this. Now when you get these like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sells, it starts to get a bit too much and you want to maybe not take any sells anymore. But it's been a really good run last year. And the year before, I had this one of my best trades last year. And this year is kind of starting to go down and not look so well. But it's good for shorts. So we can go short still in stocks. It works pretty well also with this strategy. As you can see, if we just were to go short over here and you go and place your sell order here, below the low over engulfing candle, price will be just above the high. Let's say we're going to be putting it here. Then that gives you a huge advantage, right? So you are already 2.64 down. I mean, that's a big move in stock. So that could be really good. And same thing went when we were long on this last year. And we have an entry over here. I believe we had one before. Weekly chart was also doing good. So we had entries like all the way from somewhere around here. That's kind of cool. Here, that's the first one. So big rally on this. Stop when the whole turned red. And then we are going back down on this way. So doing quite well on Netflix for us. Here's a stock that I wouldn't dare trading because there's too many gaps. But we'll try to avoid this. And UNH is also on my list. Also been doing quite bad, this one. So we might start a downtrend. The hull will slowly catch up to it. And we could be looking for selling. I haven't had a look at this for a long time. This is giving us really nice setups. You can see this one here. None of my watch this, but it could have been a really good setup only 3 weeks ago or so. So the way this works is 1.5 price breaking above the hull, giving us a nice engulfing candle. So completely engulfing the previous candlestick all the way to the bottom. So the low needs to be completely covered with this new candlestick. And then we go short just below the engulfing candle. Okay, so this could be a really good trade. This is actually a nice one. I'm kind of sad I missed this. And yeah, this could be good. So you can see how this works out. We have the hull giving us an idea of what the price is in a good area to buy, good area to sell. And then we look for these setups that match the hull. So we need to be above it to sell. We need to be below it to buy when it's green, of course. And this hull below, here's actually a long-term hull. So a 200 period hull moving average. Again, I'll show you more about the settings and stuff in the trading I have linked below. But this is just an idea of how this works out. This gives us an idea of the trend. Now, if you prefer, you can also actually go and look at the trend from here. So we don't want to be going on stocks that are sideways. So for example, if we look at Boeing is kind of going sideways, we don't want to be buying or selling on this, going kind of back and forth. Bit getting more on the trend now, but we're still very sideways on this. So we can look at the hull when the hull is going from red to green to red to green to red to green and so on. And here below too, and from red to green to red to green. This is a sideways market. So we don't want to be buying or selling there. We wait for price to trend well. And when it trends well, we can go and look for bullish trades, like over here on Caterpillar. So I had some trades on this. It's been going on quite well so far. Also my big winner last year off the daily chart. And it's actually going quite well this year again. So yes, we have a really good run on this over here and now over here and over there. So it's quite well. Now, the cool thing about this strategy here is that, first of all, not only is it good for trends, you can rack really good winners on this that can last a long time. It's also very hands-off, and it's also very mechanical. So you don't have to look at support and resistance areas like I did for many years before. We don't have to look at trend lines. Like trend lines like over here can help you see the trends, but they're not useful for anything on your chart. So these zones tend to have a lot of discretion. They tend to be, two people can see them completely differently, and it will shape the way your results are in trading. This is very mechanical. So if you can look at a sideways market, and you can look at a trend, well, you're pretty much good to go. That's all you need to know for making money in the market. So I use this on daily chart because I want to be able to be done with trading for like 15 minutes. So I sit down on my chart in the morning, I look at the charts, I look at my alerts. You can see my alerts here on TradingView. So the indicator I've coded for myself, it's custom coded here. It gives me these alerts for entries and exits also. I can just go in the morning, check my alerts, and boom, see the chart. Okay, looking good, can place a buy trade, and so on, and then we're done for the day. So it takes 15 minutes or less, and it's all kind of taken care of that way. So I have other strategies. This is the one that I really prefer for beginners because it's really hands-off. It's the one that makes me the most money also. If you want to learn this step by step, check out the first link below. It's gonna be the full course on this strategy, totally free. Nothing to sell you there. You can learn this for free and apply it for yourself. Here's a video you think you would like next, and I'll catch you back there either here or with the link below. Ciao.